Well, hi everyone from the Philippines. We look forward to being able to share just a little bit of wisdom and maybe some insight on the things that Karen and I have done over the years that's helped us to have a most wonderful marriage. If you remember back in the Matthew chapter 13, Jesus talking directly to Peter, and he told Peter, said, "Upon this rock I'll build my church." Okay, Jesus wasn't talking about a physical rock. He was talking about the very foundation of God and the principles of God. And when we build our relationships upon that rock, upon the very foundation of God, then we are very strongly attached to our Creator and to our God. And we were attending a marriage enrichment seminar many, many years ago now, and the speaker there talked about when we tether ourselves to God or to each other. And think of this as a triangle. If God is at the top of the triangle, and then we make up 2 points on each of the triangles, then when we tie a line between us and God and do not have a line between Karen and myself, then we're still connected because we're connected through the power and the love of God. So, say Karen came to the Philippines and was teaching you guys how to some things of life and other things that we might be teaching. So if she was there teaching you, we would be just as connected. We wouldn't have to be physically inside of each other to have the same connection because we're connected to God. Because each of us have tethered ourselves to God and not so much to each other. Now, we're very closely connected to each other as well. So don't think that there's no connection there. There is. But that connection is made by God. And so we connect ourselves to God. And when we rely upon God and not on each other, now we rely on each other a lot, but we also know where our strength comes from. And we ask that you do the same thing, that you rely on God and on the principles of God, and that you build your marriage relationships just as Jesus Christ said, "I will build my church upon this rock." So that is my encouragement for you. Shine brightly.
Well, now it's my turn. I want to remind some of you, when I was there the last time, we did a little bit of things to help you remember, and I'm going to turn this because it's a little crooked. Things to remember as a teacher. I know that sometimes when you connect it to something, you can remember it. Here's something every day: do a high five. And the high five, I want to remind you, is in a spiritual sense, it's showing up. You need to show up in your own life, in your own marriage, and in your own family. You're as different as your fingerprint. So your home and your environment and your marriage will be different than everybody else. Don't be conformed to this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Find people that you admire and look up to that are grounded and rooted in the Word. And as Dr. Ben said, they're at the top of that with God, because the more you're connected to God, the higher up you go on that triangle, and the more you're successful with your marriage or whatever you put into your life or bring into your life. So show up. Clean up. Now, I don't care where you are in the world, we think of this as the booger picker finger. So you can remember that. And I hope you're laughing with us, because that reminds you to clean up. Clean up your thoughts. Clean up your environment. Every morning for 27 years, I have made, or the two of us together have made, our bed. And there's only probably been a handful of times in 27 years we haven't done that. So show up. Clean up, get rid of things that don't serve you. If media is a problem, get rid of the world out of your home and out of your marriage. Straighten up, it's the tallest one. Have a plan of action. In Jeremiah 29:11, it says that God has a plan for us. So if you're connected with God, use His plan. It's much better than ours. The next one is fuel up. There's fuel for motorcycle, and there's fuel for a rocket ship. You don't make the motorcycle any better by putting rocket ship fuel in it. And clean that link up. That's where the body comes in place. When the head's aligned with Christ, that's Christ, and the body's aligned with that. That's your relationship with your marriage or any relationship. Everything's going to be better. Spiritually, show up, forgive. There's the cleanup. Be thankful. There's the link up. There's the straighten up and fuel up with love. We love you all. I love the Lord thy God with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my mind. I love my neighbor as myself. Whatsoever I do, in word or deed, I do all in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Let your light so shine before men, they may see your good works and glorify your Father who art in heaven. We love you. Have a great seminar. Bye for now.
That was super awesome. We can do that almost every day.
We could teach a seminar by... So...
You gonna play it back?
Well, I was trying how do you play it back?